Hello and welcome to Savvy Charm Life. I'm Tracy, and today we're going to be doing the first impressions of my first Dingbats planner. Okay, so I did like a crazy thing a couple of weeks ago. I was watching some videos of different bullet journals that I love, and I saw somebody using one of these Dingbats planners, and I just started watching some review videos, and before I knew it, I had ordered a planner. So Dingbats, I had never really heard of before until recently, but it sounds like they are like ethically and like environmentally like responsible company. They have the wildlife theme and the earth theme, and the book that I got is the earth theme, and it is an A5 size. I'll give you a measurement. So it's about 8.5 inches tall by about 6 inches wide. So as far as size goes, here's my A5 Stology, and we can compare the sizes. So it looks like it is a little bit wider and taller than my A5 Stology, if you can see that very clearly. It does have this strap cover, and then it also has a pen loop on the back. We'll try a couple of different pens to see. Like, this is my favorite pen, which is a little loose. Let's try another pen. Here's an Inkjoy. You kind of have to like push it through, but it works pretty well and stays pretty sturdy. And here's another style that I like, also like the Le Pen. They're also a little loose. That one works pretty well. So it does have a pen loop on the back. I got this beautiful blue planner. I just love the color. So it has this sea life debossing on it. So it's like edged into the cover itself. And the cover does have some like texture to it, as you can tell, but a really beautiful color. So on the inside, you have some info about the Great Barrier Reef, because the one that I got is, you know, about the ocean and the reef. So it just gives you some information about how to save the reef. And then this beautiful dark blue with sea creatures. These pages are, it looks like glued together, so this page itself is not going to lay flat, which is kind of annoying. But you can put info about who the book belongs to. And then there's like some how-to pages, like how to create your key, how to do color tabs, mark your pages. And then like it has, if you don't know what bullet journaling keys are, it gives you an example of how to create a key. This really isn't like what a bullet journal key normally is, so they kind of have their own version of a key here. This is the tab key. So basically they're giving you, hopefully you can see that, but you have these little half circles, almost like 3/4 of a circle really, on each edge. And what you can do is you can color it in with a marker and color that little, you know, semicircle, and then say that that color is, you know, your collections, and the next color is, you know, a month. Or maybe you want to separate it and say your, you know, future log is this color, and your you know, books I'm reading is another color. So it kind of depends on what you want the tabs to represent. But every single page has those little half semicircles, right? So you would color that in, and if you colored all of it on both sides and then kind of colored the edge of the paper, and then when you're looking at it from the side, you should be able to see the colors where they are. So you should be able to say, okay, there's red, I'm gonna flip it open, and I'm wherever I want to be. So that's kind of how you use the tabs. I don't want to color it in right now because I don't know what I would want the tabs to represent yet, and I don't want to ruin it before I start using it. They also have a color key here. a dingbat key. I'm not really sure how this is, like what you would use this for. And then they have several pages for index. So 3 pages. You have 3 pages for your index, which is really good because in my current Stalogy, I only gave myself 1 page and I'm like, I'm gonna run out of room and have to like carry on my index the end of the book. Why didn't I give myself more pages? So it's good that they give you 3 pages for the index. And all the pages are already numbered. So after you get past the index, that's when the page numbers start. So you get your 1 here. So it's like a number within a dark circle. And they're all in the bottom left and right hand corners. This is apparently a future log pages. So they tell you this is future log. And you get 4 pages for future log. And then on page 5, it starts with just blank dot grid. The dot grid is pretty pronounced, but not so dark to where it would be annoying, I think. And then the paper itself is very smooth feeling. I have heard that it is treated, so we are going to do a pen test and see how that goes. But it is supposed to be like coated paper, but it does feel very nice. Like the paper feels wonderful. And then it looks like we do get 2 bookmarks, 1 black and 1 blue that matches the cover. So that's really pretty. I'm not used to having a bookmark because right now I use a Stalogy. And it looks like you have pages all the way to 184, but the last page is also glued again to this back, thicker cardstock page. So maybe we'll do the pen test on this page. Yeah, we'll do the pen test on this page. And then I have heard that, so they do have these pages are where you can tear them out. Where did the tear out pages begin? Let's see. I'm kind of feeling it as I go. I'm pretty sure, no, that's 1, 2. Let's see. No, okay. So the tear out pages start on page 170. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 tear out pages. What I think I would use the tear out pages for is I think I would use it instead of using white out when I make a mistake. I may use this and like it would be like scratch paper where I could like cut it out and then glue it on to the dot grid as like a way to like cover a mistake. But yeah, you get several of those tear out pages. And then like I said, this one is glued here. And then at the back, you get that beautiful dark blue with the ocean creatures. Something stuck on the back there. And then you also get a pocket at the back. And it is like an accordion style, so it can fit a decent amount. You don't want to overfill it though, because then like shutting it, it wouldn't, stay flat. But that's nice because I like to add like, like some washi tape or like stickers or like, leftovers from the sticker kit that I used that week or something, or like days of the week stickers or something. I like to stick there so that I have them on hand. Yeah. And then here is the back. So, first impressions, it's beautiful. And the paper feels like butter. Like the paper feels so soft and smooth. But the question is, how will it take the pens, right? So, let's see. Okay, so I have a tin of a cup here of all the pens that I have. Just for kicks, let's try. I'm just gonna write Wish for this one because I can't remember I don't know what brand it is. And it does have some Japanese on the side, but since I can't read Japanese, I don't know, so I'm just gonna write Wish gel pen. Gel pen. Okay, and then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do this Okay. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a line and go over it with the zebra mold liner. Okay, so that was the Wish gel pen. So now let's try our Pentel Energel. Here is my more generic Art Treasures dual brush pen. You can tell this one's already losing ink. I need to get rid of this one. Yeah, that one's like losing it. Going in the trash right now. All right, and then here's my like brand new Tombow.
Let's try the other side too.
Okay, so of all of my favorite pens that I use on a regular basis, believe it or not, my Wish pen actually worked okay. It did smudge like the tiniest bit, like after writing right away, but after just waiting 5 seconds, it didn't smudge. But it did smudge with the highlighter pretty much right away. The Pentel Energel smudged with the highlighter, but didn't smudge hardly at all after writing right away. The ballpoint pen didn't write very smoothly on this paper at all. The Zebra Sarasa did like a great job, but that pen is supposed to be like a quick drying pen, so it probably held up the best, but even with the highlighter, it's still smudged. I haven't been a huge fan of the Zebra Sarasa. I have a hard time, like, if it doesn't write very smoothly, and oftentimes when you're writing, like, it'll, like, run out of ink, and you have to, like, you know, readjust or whatever to get it start writing again. So I was super excited about trying Zebra Sarasa, and then once I tried it, I was like, this is, you know, a bunch of hype. Like, I didn't really like it very much. As expected, the gel writers, both the regular generic gel writer and the Jelly Roll, smudge like right away. Like, I found this when I'm like decorating in my planner, like you have to wait like a good long time or you're gonna smudge with any kind of jelly pen like that. Papermate Ink Log, Inkjoy, smudged even up to like 30 seconds, 10 seconds it was still smudging and smudged with a highlighter. The Marvy Le Pen did like a decent job on this paper, and didn't really smudge at all with the highlighter. The Biome one did a really good job and didn't really smudge very much. So did the Papermate Flare. The Pilot Permanent Marker obviously did good. I mean, it's a permanent marker. It did smudge a little right away, but it dried very quickly. The Sharpie dried like pretty much right away on this paper. The Sharpie Ultra Fine did a really good job as well. The Crayola Super Tip, obviously, it only needed 5 seconds and it looked like it was fine. Although I think it smudged like the tiniest bit. So just like an extra 5 seconds and you would have been fine with the Crayola Super Tip. I just gave up on that horrible generic Art Treasures brush pen. And then the Tombow brush pen did a really good job. It did smudge, as you can see, like right away, but giving it 5 seconds and it seemed to be fine on this paper. So the next question is ghosting. So, hello Sharpie, right? It looks like every single pen ghosted except for, shockingly, my Tombow brush pen. Like you have to look really close to see, and then like the finer point you can see the ghosting here, but it's really hard to see it here. And then what pen? My Marvy Le Pen did pretty well, but that was a pink pen, so I'd like to see like the ghosting with a black pen. And then what was underneath the Sharpie? The Sharpie Ultra Fine. No, underneath the Sharpie Ultra Fine. Let's see. The Crayola Super Tip. The Super Tip doesn't ghost very much at all. So I think the ones that did the best with ghosting was the Marvy Le Pen, the Papermate Flare, but that, again, those were colored pens. So I'd like to see how the Papermate Flare and the Marvy Le Pen do with the black. Let's go grab a black. I'll go grab a black one and we'll check. So I don't have a dark colored flare pen, but I do have a black Marvy lip pen. So we'll do black Marvy lip pen. I can never remember whether there's an E in it or not. I think it's just BY. Yeah. Okay, so I'm not going to do the smudge test because I'm just checking to see ghosting. So ghosting is still minimal, but you can definitely see it better when it's the black versus the pink color. So it's definitely, the ghosting was minimal because of the color that I was writing with. So I still think that the best as far as ghosting went was the Tombow brush pen, shockingly. But for black pens, it looks like the probably the Inkjoy. No, that one was that one. Let's see. It looks like all of the black pens are gonna ghost to some degree. But I do think probably the Marvy Le Pen had the least amount of ghosting of all of them. But yeah, so that's how the pens held up. Probably the Marvy Le Pen is probably one of the better ones to use in this notebook. But my gel pen did a decent job, but there's gonna be ghosting regardless. It's probably not as significant as ghosting in so let me show you. This is my Stology. Let's see, let's look at my, okay, so this, no. All right, so let's look at some ghosting here. So this is what the ghosting is like in the Stology. You can almost, like, it even bleeds a little bit, and you can definitely feel the writing through the paper. This one, yeah, I can feel it. The only one that bled through the paper though, of course, was the Sharpie. But the Sharpie Ultrafine only bled a tiniest bit, like here and here on the line. But the Sharpie Fine Point was the only one that really truly bled. I think that the Pilot Permanent also did a tiny bit of bleeding. But for the most part, it's just the shadowing, the ghosting on the back of the page. But, you know, I've been seeing that in my Stology for ages, so it does not bother me to have ghosting. But unfortunately, it's going to be hard to find paper. You're going to have like super thick paper to not have ghosting. You're going to have like Erin Condren thickness kind of paper to not see ghosting. But yeah, so that's how the pens held up. So as I said, my first impressions are, it is a beautiful notebook, and I'm just trying to decide whether or not to try this out in 2021. So the one that I am using for the second half of 2020 is this A5 yellow 360, so it's a full year, 365 day Stology notebook. I've been using Stologies. This is my fourth Stology. So for 2 years, I've been sticking to Stology, and I love my Stology notebooks. So should I branch out and try something new in my bullet journaling, journey, and decide whether or not to use this or not? Like I said, it's beautiful, and I think it would be fun to try something new. But if I found my planner piece with Stology, then should I try something new? That's the question. So let me know. What do you think I should do? Do you think I should try this out in 2021? Or do you think that I should stick with what I know? I've got a few months to figure it out. I literally am not even done with my first month in the Stology. I just started, and I'm already thinking about 2021, guys. this is the planner community that we live in, right? As soon as we start a new notebook, we're already thinking, what planner do I want to do next, right? But yeah, so let me know what you think in the comment section. I'd also love to know, what bullet journal notebook do you use? Have you used a Dingbats journal? Do you like it? What would be your pros and cons? So let me know your thoughts in the comment section. If you loved this type of content, please hit that like button. It would mean so much to me. And if you would love to see more and know when I'm uploading new videos, then definitely hit that subscribe button as well as the bell so you're notified when I upload new content. So yeah, so first impressions, I like it. I just need to make a decision about whether I want to use it. But like I said, I've got 5 months to figure it out. I don't know about you, but I start setting up my new planner probably like 2 or 3 months early. So like it's really more like October, November that I'll be making the decision about what notebook I'll be using. But yeah, we'll see, right? You guys are with me on this journey, so you'll know 5 months from now what journal I'm going to be using, right? Okay, so thank you so much, and I can't wait to see you next time. Okay, bye.